Good morning, welcome to Planet Mojo. This morning I'm going to give you a midsummer garden tour. Here is the Xenia Garden. I'm not sure how tall these are. I believe to the flowers it must be a bit over 3 feet. And I think they're going to get a bit bigger than this. I can't tell you if this is like at its prime or not, but it is awful gorgeous over here. I don't know how well the camera captures this, but it is really, really nice and dense. I'll give you another view. We'll walk up that way a little bit later. This is the toilet garden. That's getting pretty thin. It wasn't watered a couple times. We had company for 4 days last week, and things were a little bit hectic around here. I didn't water anything. You know, I should have watered this and the hanging ones, and I didn't. And I didn't weed and a bunch of other stuff. So, getting a little caught up now. Alright, this area was planted in grass, and it looks like foxtail took over. Most of this stuff is foxtail, which is kind of sad, but the foxtail will go away next year when the perennial rye makes a comeback. This is pretty interesting. I think this is baby blues from back when we used to seed this with the annual wildflowers. I can't be sure, but they look a lot like that. I want to get that out in the front garden at some point too. The volunteer flowers are still doing pretty well. I thought they would be faded by now, but they kind of made a comeback. Maybe the ones I was looking at are the ones that kind of fell over back there. At any rate, at some point I will cut these back and they'll send up a new flush of flowers. This area is just overgrown. We're going to make this into a garden, but it's going to take a while. We got to get finished with the other gardens first, and we're likely going to put the bench that we were going to put back here, we're likely going to put that over along the edge out in the front, right by the walnut tree. That's one of Natalie's flowers that she planted. I think it's a red hot poker, but not really sure. This will get some flowers in it, but I'm not going to get in here and weed it. I might weed it a little bit one more time, but that's it. And then this will get a bunch of hollyhocks, and then the hollyhocks will keep coming back for years to come. All right, on to the cornucopia. Oh, before the cornucopia, this is another volunteer. I think that's a cosmos. This used to have annual wildflowers here back when there used to be a container right here, and that was a long time ago. So these volunteer flowers will come back forever, but if you don't handle the weeds like this foxtail, you know, it's just kind of a mess. This right here will just be grass at some point, and if there's a volunteer flower in it, I'll let it grow, but otherwise, this is just going to be grass. I don't have enough time for another garden over here, and this whole hillside is going to be cut away at some point, so no sense in making a nice garden here. All right, let's check out the cornucopia. We had a trailer here for, 3 weeks now, so a little bit of deadness there, but it'll come back. This is actually doing pretty well for not being watered for, maybe 3 weeks. The petunias are fading a bit, but that coleus is doing great. And so is this. And this red hot poker, yeah, I'm not sure if that's a red hot poker or if this is, or if they both are. I had no idea what this was. It didn't have a tag in it. But we got it because it was spiky looking, and we wanted something spiky looking on both sides. But seeing that it's a red hot poker, that's kind of cool. All right, this doesn't look fantastic, but it looks pretty good. And I got to get in here. I'm going to trim this out. I got 2 last bags of mulch. I'm going to mulch in front of it. We'll probably be using this again next year. Well, at least until that barrel rots completely out. It's on its last leg, so we'll see how long it lasts. All right, this front garden, I got out here at maybe 11 o'clock or maybe 10:30, and I weeded for maybe an hour and a half. I didn't do anything right here, but I pulled some of the weedy grasses out. There's still more to do, but I did a fairly good job, and I picked all that stuff up. I didn't pick up the stuff down there yet, but I'll get it. This is all Burgundy Hollyhocks. They're not going to do spectacular because they're a biennial, and this is their first year, but they will get flowers this year. But just not yet. Okay, this is the purple lovegrass, and it is starting to do its thing. These are the seed heads. So I'm kind of going through, and if I see something that does not look like purple lovegrass, I'm yanking it out. But it's kind of hard with a garden that's entirely kind of like a weed grass. Purple lovegrass is like witch's broom or witch grass. So we have that as a weed. So here's some yeah, it's hard to tell which is which. Get down there. So this stuff is definitely not at its prime yet, but it is almost there. You can see it's starting to get really wispy, and it gets just big and purple, and it looks really cool. Maybe a week or two. I think I've said that before, but I'm still kind of new to this stuff, so I'm not sure when it is at its prime. It's probably going to be mid-August before it's at its prime, and then it'll last through the end of the year. The ditch lilies are starting to fade, but they've been fading for a while now, and they still look kind of good. But you can see the plants themselves are kind of dying back. I forgot what the heck that thing is again. Is it a verbanium? If you know what it is, let me know in the comments. I got this, and oh, that's that snowball thing right over there. I think this is a viburnum. I will have to look that up. I got the gator here because I had to go pick up Natalie. She got stepped on by the horses a little while ago. Okay, this is a mass planting of hollyhock as well. This is a volunteer from last year. We had a big one right there. You can look back on some of the videos and see that. I don't know, it was probably 6 feet tall and took up this whole area. You couldn't get back through here at some point in the summer. And all of these little babies, I've weeded this area several times now, and they just keep coming back. I'm coming through here and spraying glyphosate in a little while, so this stuff will die back. I don't want any of them through here this year. I want to be able to walk through here. This can stay, but those gotta go. Yeah, this area right here is going to look pretty cool this year, but even better next year with these Burgundy Hollyhocks as well as the yellow hollyhocks. I won't be able to tell which is which because they're going to reseed themselves, but it should make a nice mix. Back here we got the Gerber Daisies. Those are doing really good. That is a really cool color, that ultra reddish orange. Like that. These, I could not get these peppers in here to grow, so I planted the petunias in them when they were real little like that, and then all of a sudden they shot up. So I pruned them off, and this is a Poinsettia Pepper, and it'll get a bunch of peppers that grow like straight up. Hopefully that'll do that pretty soon, and I may have to take the petunias out of there if it does. The Japanese beetles are back. There's a couple right there. There's like 3 of them right there. I don't know if I want to go spray them again, but Yeah, there's two right there. If I don't spray them, these things are all going to mate, and might have a big explosion of them next year. I don't know. We'll see. I have some fixes for my backpack sprayer, and I'm going to show that in a different video. I'm going to get that thing fixed. It's just not pumping correct, so I got to get that repaired. Bindweed. I hate this stuff. The June grass dies back for the summer, and it'll make a comeback in the fall. I took all the seed heads off of it, and I'm drying them out right now. We got a bunch of weeds in here right now. I did keep it weed free for a long time and just let it go for a while, and now there's a bunch of grass in there. I'm going to be weeding this tomorrow, and hopefully I can get all that out of there. These purple coneflowers are just way overgrown. I'm going to be thinning these out next year. I thinned them out a good amount this year, but if you let them go, they will take over the entire garden, which I guess wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but I do want kind of a mix. The grasses, or at least these two grasses, this is bottlebrush grass and silky rye. They're beautiful grasses, but they fade so quick. They're like an early spring grass, and they're faded before summer even starts, or right at the beginning of summer. Then they don't look all that great the rest of the year. So I don't know. I might, if we have something else growing here that'll help them stand up, because they're wanting to fall right now. If something else was in here, these might look good, but so I think I might take these out next year, but I'm going to collect all the seed and get them growing in the wild all over the land. I mean, they're a native Wisconsin grass, and they are pretty cool looking. It's just in the garden, I would either have just a small stand of them amongst other tall stuff, or possibly at the edge or something, but I don't think this is working out all that well. We have the prairie drop seed. Some of them are doing pretty good. Some of them are doing very good. Tomorrow I'm going to be coming through here with my pruning shears. I got to get all the suckers off that wisteria, and wherever this stuff is shading out one of the prairie drop seed, like I'll cut this area out to give the prairie drop seed more sun. These are all volunteers. That's a volunteer. I pulled a bunch of them out. I went through here and did that quick weeding, and I yanked a whole bunch of these. Here's a prairie drop seed right here. I believe there's one down here. Yeah, see, I'll pull this flower right here and a couple of these other ones tomorrow when I get in here. I'll pull this too. Otherwise, I would let these grow, and they would give you more of these. These are Black-Eyed Susan, and oh, I forget the other. There's a couple things that kind of look the same. I'm not sure what these are with the red towards the middle. They're not Gaillardia. Gaillardia is annual, and, well, maybe they're Gaillardia, but I don't think so. There's yellow coneflower and Black-Eyed Susan and a few other ones. Yeah, I'll clear that area tomorrow. And I've gone through today already. I just didn't do this little tiny area right here, and kind of yanked the major weeds, but you could see all that bindweed right there, so I didn't get this little area right here. Tomorrow, I wanted to make this video right now because I'm going to go through here with glyphosate and spray that center part right there. And there's a couple other parts, including the walkway back there, that are full of weeds. So I just weed right around the plants and then spray it with glyphosate. So we're starting to get flowers in here. Zinnias are first, but this is kind of fading already. And I could not tell you what those are. I can tell you that's a prairie drop seed back there, and it's massive compared to the ones I tried last year, which all died. Oh, there's probably the biggest one, prairie drop seed back there. So I'll probably take this flower out. I don't know. They could probably use a bit of shade through the hottest part of the summer. So maybe I'll leave that stuff in, and a little later in the year just cut the top off. Then it'll grow up and have a small flower, and let the prairie drop seed have a bit of light. This is Plains Coreopsis. Yeah, I'm going to have to find out what this is right here. These annual wildflowers will go into full bloom any time now. I thought it was going to happen before now, but the zinnias are really starting, so this other stuff will follow right behind it. Again, the prairie drop seed. Those two are doing pretty well. And again, I must not have weeded from here over to there. I know I did the entire center part in this one. That's little blue stem back there. And in the end, these gardens are going to have some little blue stem with much less of this. More blue stem, less of the purple cone flowers, and more of these prairie drop seed. So it'll have all different heights. Purple lovegrass, and this is behind that garden because that garden's 2 years old. It does have a ton of new prairie drop seed, or not prairie drop seed, purple lovegrass in it. But this is all first year purple lovegrass, so it's a little bit behind the other garden. Same here, this is all first year purple lovegrass. It has a volunteer right in the middle of it, which I let go, but next year I'll take that out, otherwise it's going to get way too big. That's a volunteer down there, and a lot of the stuff in the back is volunteers as well. We got the Plains Coreopsis right there, which is a volunteer, and we got a lot of this is clover right through here, and I planted that last year, and a lot of it seemed like it died, but it's coming back this year. And then, of course, we got the prairie drop seed there, and a large one right here, and a large one right there. And this is a little blue stem going through here, and another drop seed back there, which is getting pretty big. Oh, another one kind of buried back there. I might want to take these volunteers out in the front. All right. So a little bit later today, I'm going to be going through here with glyphosate with blue dye in it. So that takes a few days to fade. So I'll be coming back in probably 3 or 4 days. It's going to rain in 3 or 4 days. So the day after that, I'll come back, and the rain should cause everything to bloom, all this front stuff. Well, it's actually blooming pretty nice here. Yeah, this side's way better than the other side. Drop seed's doing pretty good here. This looks so barren back here, but like next year and years after that, I'll be putting this annual flowers in between these, so it should look a whole lot better next year. That big monster grass back there, I'm thinking it's witch's broom now. I thought it was purple lovegrass at first, but I don't think so. I should get that out tomorrow. I know I planted purple lovegrass, a couple single ones here and there, but I thought that was back around here. Let me see if I can show that. Because it should be purple by now if it's that big. Yeah, see, I thought this was a purple lovegrass, and it is purple. but I don't know. That could very well just be a weed. That could be witch's broom. They're related, and both of them grow naturally around here, so, you know, it could be one, could be the other. I don't want it to drop a ton of seeds into the garden, so I should probably take both of those out. Again, like earlier in the year, I have drop seed all over the place in here, and then I let this plant go. It's a weed. I let it go too long last year, and it dropped a zillion seeds right here. I've weeded it out twice. Weeded it around the prairie drop seed, and then sprayed glyphosate. And I got it bare both times, and these things just keep coming back. So I'm going to spray glyphosate on them one more time, and anything that doesn't get killed by the glyphosate, I'll come and yank out. I don't want that dropping seed again. Again, we have kind of like a barren spot there. I'm going to get in there and spray glyphosate, but it's mostly the prairie drop seed. And next year I'll plant a couple, maybe little blue stem, maybe big blue stem. I'll plant a couple in there, and then the open spots will get the annual wildflowers. And I'll mix it up. I'll get this batch or this variety of wildflowers and possibly another one. And the same thing goes here. These prairie drop seed are getting beautiful, really nice and big. A few of them died, but plenty of them made it. I think I got the recipe for growing them now. I'm going to grow a couple next year, but I have plenty. I'm going to grow a couple for this garden over here. I'm going to kill a big spot going down the hill and put mostly prairie drop seed down there. Okay, and then we got pale purple coneflower, which is the endangered coneflower. It's way past its prime. It's just a bunch of seed heads back there, and I collected some of it and gave it to my niece and my sister-in-law so they can grow some at their place. Purple lovegrass again, which could use a little bit of weeding. And I know there's one purple lovegrass right in here, and then there's 5 or 6 of them on the side of that hill right there. So got a lot of purple lovegrass. This is the side oats grandma. Still got its red flowers on it. Same with that back there. There's the ducks. And there's Eve calling them. Our niece is here, and she was looking for them earlier today and couldn't find them. The ducks probably went down to the Mississippi River and hung out for a while. Okay, this garden here is much less fertile, and I haven't really been taking care of it as much as the other ones. Here's a big pigweed right here. That should not be in here. And another one right here. These produce so many millions of seeds. I'm going to take them and put them in the burn pit. The prairie drop seed is doing pretty good over here as well. I think that one died, and well, that one's doing pretty good. Some of them were doing really bad before, and they're doing okay now, so that's good to see. I really got to get in here tomorrow and do a little bit of weeding as well, just around the prairie drop seed, and definitely get rid of any pigweed that I find along the front. But for the most part, this is all kind of wild right here. You can see all the flowers that are coming back from previous years, which is fine. So this area right now is a mix of the prairie grasses, mostly in the back, and recently right in here, and then the annuals right here, and then mostly weeds after, like right about here, it gets to be mostly weeds. But there is stuff that's still growing, you know, coming back from years ago. You can see them right there. at some point I'm going to have to let it do what it wants to do. You know, I can't maintain, 1,000 feet of garden. I can maintain a good amount of it, and if you get a good base of the native grasses, the native grasses are going to come back every year, and they take up a certain amount of space. So wherever those are, weeds aren't. And at some point it naturalizes, and you won't get so much of the adventurous grasses and stuff like that. So in the end, it's all going to look really, really nice, but it may take a few years to get there. All right, I'm going to get this stuff sprayed, and I will show you this again. Like I said, the day after the rain, it should look really beautiful, so I'll get back to you after that. And until then, if you subscribe and click on the update icon, you'll get notice when I post that video. If you have any questions or comments, make sure you put them in the comment section below. And if you like the video, please share it and give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.